Esteemed stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon we stand a saddened society whose very mandate of being a legal watchdog has brought to light atrocities of great proportion that have happened in the last 3 days within Kisumu County and its surrounding environment. Reports of victims of police brutality have been on a great rise from Wednesday, the 19th of July, 2023. And there have been nationwide protests over the stifling of economic pinch that the Kenyans are experiencing, brought about by the introduction of the Finance Act, as well as the previous inflationary effects. Kenyans took to the street as per their constitutional right to picket and demonstrate in a bid to have their voices heard, but the resultant effects were contrary to what they had planned, and instead they were met with brute police force. Numerous deaths were reported as a result of police brutality. Many were grievously injured, and others were maimed with lifetime injuries. It is sad that there are several persons who are missing as a result of enforced disappearance. Others are suffering from bullet injuries, and there's a pattern to these injuries. We are noticing that the injuries are majorly to the groin area for the young men, and for the elderly men, we are noticing that they suffer spine injuries, joint and chest injuries. Previously, it was thought and believed that the bullets fired by the police were stray bullets. But recent events have shown that it is clear that these shootings are well calculated and structured and aimed to weaken the citizenry and frustrate the future of the community. Children are not being spared. We have victims who have been shot. A young man has been shot 9 times, majorly in the chest area, by the police. It is now apparent that there are 2 rules in this country: the rule of law favoring the elite, and the rule of force, brutal and illegal force used by the police against the indigent in our society, who have tried to seek for economic justice in a manner provided by our constitution. Families are now desolate, they are weeping, they have lost their loved ones, and some are maimed. The question that is coming to our minds as a result of these actions that we saw in 2013, in 2017 elections, and now more recently that we are seeing, is that history is replicating itself time and time again in a manner that is unrelenting. There were nationwide protests, but the shootings were worse in counties such as Kisumu and Nairobi, and force was hardened against citizens. We have reports that police were breaking into homes in areas of Nyalenda, Nyamasaria, and Kondele, and fetching innocent citizens from their houses and brutalizing them. We are asking that the judiciary, as well as members of Kenyan Human Rights Commission, we are asking the church, leaders in the church, we are asking medics, we are asking all Kenyans of goodwill to join us and voice these concerns. The President, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, stated clearly that he was against any form of police brutality within the Republic as part of his campaign promise. We are now saddened to see that the new police force rid itself of its old name, but maintained its old characteristics. In the recent past, we have had various instances of the police injuring citizens, and resulted court processes that we entrusted resulted in various outcomes, such as the Pendo case. And we trust and believe that as LSK, we shall pursue the bodies, the police who are responsible for this maiming, who are responsible for these injuries. And we are asking that the judiciary delivers on its duty to uphold the rule of law. We are asking that the government of Kisumu, the governor of Kisumu County, the Cabinet Secretary of Interior, the Office of the Director of ODPP, and the various stakeholders, inclusive of non-governmental organizations, first and foremost, apprehend all police involved in arbitrary use of force, and secondly, alongside us, in the quest for justice for all victims and their families, take up this cause of justice. This is a call to all citizens of Kisumu County to approach our offices in order to gain legal aid and assistance on the matters especially arising from police brutality. We affirm our commitment as LSK Kisumu chapter to monitor all events surrounding these incidences with a view to defending the rights of all those affected and upholding the rule of law as part of our core mandate. On behalf of the Law Society of Kenya Kisumu chapter, I offer heartfelt condolences to the families and friends of those who lost their lives, and get well wishes to the victims of the said gunshot injuries. We are also currently in the process of documenting the victims, more so those who are still getting treatment here at JTRH. And so far we have taken statements and information from 20 victims. 3 are in critical condition, 2 are minors, and some are in surgical ward. 1 person right now is undergoing surgery, and 3 are being attended in the outpatient unit. That is all.
My name is Easter Okage. I work with Kenya Female Advice Organization and as a member of the Western Kenya Human Rights Network. We're here to show solidarity to our fellow citizens who, because of the right to picket, have suffered various atrocities, and also within their households under fear of trauma, which then is reminiscent of what we have seen in the post-election violence which we witnessed in 2007. So what we're looking at is that it is targeted attack against citizens who are looking at a police service which has turned into a police force. We are actually requesting citizens to be able to speak up, get the issues to the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights and the Law Society of Kenya, who are here to take up all these cases so that then do not be afraid to come out and speak up against what has happened to you within your households, within your businesses, and at different levels. We are urging those who, if you know someone who has suffered any atrocity or has lost any business, kindly speak up so that then we can be able to say that the Constitution of Kenya 2010 was not in vain and our rights are protected within this particular framework. And if you know any person who is afraid, there are also various means within the Constitution which can give you witness protection so that you don't fear. And for all those people who have been injured, and as we say, this is targeted, and it's targeted to dehumanize persons, particularly male people within this particular area. So when you're looking at these ones, for me, it frames within the crimes against humanity, where it is particular ways to emasculate certain people within our community, particularly the men within our societies, even where victims were being beaten in front of their children, and their children are talking about it, and it's captured on TV. So all those kind of things is what we're talking about, that we will not relent, we will not stop. And as citizens, we are here to protect our rights and protect ourselves against all these atrocities that are happening to us. So for all citizens out there, Aluta Continua, we will not stop. Thank you.